Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB, and again, I've just done some videos talking about the Celta Vigo against Barca game. Gonna take a look at that. Just have a look on the channel. There's going to be loads up tonight, loads of different uploads to do with different things really, because there's so many different ways that you can look at a game like this, and this is the sort of podcast video. I'm not going to show any clips in this one because, but quite frankly, there's things in this video I'm going to talk about which, there's no need for clips. We all watched the game, we all know what happened. And some of the things you can't really portray just by looking at it. It's just a feeling you get. And the feeling that I get watching that game, like I said, there's positives and there's negatives you can take from it. We created lots of chances. We could have been 4-5-0 up, but we didn't. Let's face the facts here. There's no good saying we could have scored the chances. We could have done this because we didn't do that. You didn't finish the chances. We wasn't clinical enough. And I said right from the start, really, I don't think we went out with the right mindset. Celta Vigo are 6th in La Liga going into that game on incredible form. They're a very, very good side. Luis Enrique himself knows how good Celta Vigo are. He was their manager last season. We should have been 100% ready for that game. And for me, the players went out there and they took them lightly. They thought Celta Vigo weren't going to pose too much of a threat. We saw a few times in that game how deadly Celta Vigo were on the break. They did threaten us, and every time they broke forward, it did look like they were going to create something. And you got with the sense that when, say, Neymar missed, when Messi missed, Suarez missed, they were sort of thinking, don't worry, we'll get another chance, we'll score, it'll be alright. And then Larrivee scored, and then everyone thought, hang on a sec, they're winning, we might not win this game after all. And it's just like, the players have to come out on that pitch. We saw against Real Madrid where they just brushed us aside. The same with PSG. And you just feel the urgency and the desire to win. I really don't know if they're there at the moment. I really don't understand why the players weren't out there, and they're trying to really finish every single chance and put the game to bed as early as possible. Obviously they're trying to score, but it's almost a sense as if they do miss, they think, oh well, we'll get another chance, it'll be alright. And it wasn't alright out there today. We had chance after chance after chance which didn't go in. Some of them were very unlucky. The goalkeeper was outstanding, but at the same time you have to start questioning not only the mentality of the players, but the attitude. What is the attitude of players out there on that pitch who have won absolutely everything in world football? Everything you can win, they've won it. And that's starting to become a problem. We saw it last season when there was a lack of desire. They didn't really want to go and run round and chase every ball and score every goal and get every touch. And I thought that I'd finished this season. We started the league campaign perfectly. But no, it hasn't really happened, and that is a problem for me looking at this now. The question of the attitude. You can quite easily change players around, you can drop players and you can bring different people in. Those chances will fall to the right people on the right day and we will score our goals. But if it's an attitude problem, that's a much bigger problem, because changing an attitude and changing a mentality of a team is a much bigger task for Luis Enrique. And I've heard a lot of people blaming him as well. There's a few things in the team selection which I didn't agree with. For instance, Mascherano at centre-back. He should have been in midfield. Bartra should have played centre-back. That is one of the things. Montoya considerably left out so many times now. Dani Alves continues to play. That's something I would argue with him about. But you cannot blame Luis Enrique for this. You cannot blame him for the missed chances we did. We cannot blame him for the lack of intensity. And the problem I have with this squad at the moment is, when they lost today, the crowd were anxious, they were annoyed and they were frustrated. I want to know if the players were. Of course, they'll be sad that they lost, but I think they should be sat in that dressing room now. If this was the Guardiola era, they would be sat in that dressing room and he wouldn't have to say anything to them, because they would know deep down they'd lost a game and that was absolutely criminal. That is a deadly, terrible offence to do. But I'm not sure if they are. I'm sure they're sat in the dressing room now. Some of them will go home and they'll be on social media. They'll go home to their families and they'll forget about it. Those players should be going home now thinking we could have done better because we should have won that game. I realise that football isn't their life and, they have a life. But at the same time, these players have to want to go out and win every single game. That's the Barca mentality. That's always been the way. And the style of football that we play, if we don't finish our chances like we didn't today, we will be punished eventually because we're not strong enough defensively to keep a clean sheet for 90 minutes and against most opposition. Celta Vigo are a very, very good side. So when they got a chance, they scored. And you can see from their goal how good they are. We took them lightly today. You cannot say anything about that. Players out on that pitch were complacent today. They thought that no matter what happened, no matter how many chances they missed, they'd win the game. And that, for me, is a very big problem. I don't know how you change that. I don't know how you go about that. I don't know whether it's time to really start putting some big personalities on the bench. I'm not going to name names. You know the players that I'm talking about. And maybe some shock ones. We may have to start benching players, and they will be shocks. But Luis Enrique has to have the personality. He has to have the ego to do it. Because there's players in this team who at the moment who don't want it enough. Who are going out on that pitch believing they're going to win. But that's good. I like to see confidence, but we cannot start to see complacency. We can't be going out on that pitch thinking we've won before we even kick the ball. Because you have to be 100% in every single match. Today we were unlucky, but we weren't at our best. And every single game in La Liga, you have to go into it and play 100% or you'll get beaten. We did that today. We didn't finish our chances. We weren't clinical enough in front of goal. We weren't aggressive enough in defence, and we lost the game. And quite frankly, Celta Vigo deserved it. They defended well. Their goalkeeper was impressive. They defended as a team. They were all very, very hard working. They wanted to go out there today and win the game. They had the mentality they were going to win the game no matter what. And that's what won them the game. That's what got them over the line. And today from our players, didn't see that. Some of them were very, very good, some of them were unlucky, and some of them were downright shouldn't have been out there. So thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear your opinions. You'll probably disagree with what I'm saying. Some people will agree. That's the matter of thing. It's always a matter of opinion. You guys are very much entitled to yours. So leave that below. What do you think of today's result, and what do you think would go wrong? What would you change in our midweek game against Ajax? Let me know your thoughts down below. Visca al Barça always, no matter what. We'll come through this. I'm just not sure how long it'll take. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Visca al Barça.